How was debating Tommy Lauren?
Well, she's insufferable.
Yeah.
And she's also very deep voice on Tommy Lauren, right? Very masculine traits on her. But also, like many of these conservative commentators, I really don't understand the female conservative commentator sphere because they're really, really stupid. And I'm like, how is it that you keep getting brought on TV and then you realize, oh, I see. It's because they think that men want to have sex with you. And so they present you as, a package where you say right-wing thing plus man want. And then, bam, we make money. So once you realize that that's what the formula is, it's like, okay, that makes more sense because they are really stupid. And it's like, it's no wonder you don't see female conservatives in the debate sphere with feminists because they would just get destroyed. The feminists would just mangle them because they're so stupid. I mean, just ridiculously stupid.
Yeah, I think there was a point in that debate where you said, I can't remember what you said. I just remember her face. And it was just like,
ask what duties women have.
Oh, that was it. It was so
I was like, what are duties that women have towards men? And she was like, well, I just think that men naturally want to provide for women. I'm like, so wait, so you think that I want to get you nice just to watch you have it? Like that's what you're saying? Great. Well, that's fantastic. Every man on earth wants to sign up for that. And then if you say that to them, like, well, you're not a real man.
Right.
A real man will buy me nice and then just watch how happy I am when I get it.
Yeah.
That's what real men do.
Yeah.
They're wild. These women are wild and out, especially on the conservative side. In fact, a lot of the feminists, the outright outspoken feminists, act more conservative in their relationships with men than the conservative women do.
Yeah.
Significantly more submissive than the conservative counterparts, which is just insane to me.
I know. I saw you on whatever, and you're one of the few people that say that there's no difference between conservative and liberal women. Like, you hear Charlie Kirk, and he'll say, like, a woman's political opinions matter. And I don't know what you found on whatever, but when I was doing interviews, I didn't really see a difference. I was like, you can just reprogram her after you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's always going to be individuals who have good political takes who are women. Like, that's the case. But you, generally speaking, it's like a general statement. It is true that you can't put a piece of paper between conservative female commentators and feminist female commentators. Like, it's a piece of paper between them. And that's what I found too. And when I'm debating them, they always use the same talking points. And instantly, it's really fun to watch. If you get two conservative females on a panel and there's like 4 liberal females and you start tangling up with both sides and you watch the sisterhood form instantly, right? Suddenly they're not conservatives or women or liberals, right? They're women, and you're an evil, oppressive, patriarchal, lunatic man, right? Instantly, all of the political divide gone.
I saw that with Nala. That was crazy. All of the, oh my gosh, Michael Knoll. Have you debated him yet?
He won't debate.
Oh.
I've asked multiple times, requested it multiple times live, and I know that Brian Whatever's requested it multiple times. The guy won't debate.
Yeah.
It's really funny for the guy who always gets a lot of, if the roster of men that I've debated is massive, right? The roster of men most of my critics has debated zero. So it's like, I'm just equal about it, right? I don't care if you're an idiot who's a guy or a girl, right? Both of you.
You're an equal opportunist.
Equal opportunist when it comes to that. So with Knowles, though, yeah, I would be happy to, all of those guys on the Daily Wire, I was always happy to tangle, especially Klavan. After I saw the Klavan interview you did, I was like, oh man, I want to tear into Klavan so bad on this, because they're just clueless. They have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, what are your biggest disagreements with them? Like, what would you...
If I were to take like the Daily Wire and TQUSA and all of them?
If you were gonna do you versus like 10 of them, what would be like the points you brought up?
Well, the first thing I would do is I would say, like, you guys publicly lie a lot about the idea of women in your organizations, because when I talk to the TPUSA people on the ground privately, who are at universities, organizers, things like that, they're like, Andrew, I totally agree with everything you're saying. These women are they're a big problem to have in our organization. You know what I mean? I wish more people would tangle up with them. They know it's an issue. They just pretend it's not. And why? It's because they want a groundswell of support from conservative women. That's what they're after. right? The problem is they're not actually speaking to real conservative women's issues. And real conservative women's issues are not, it's not about these stupid idea of baking bread, wearing a sundress. And that's what it's become. So, the first thing I would dive into is like, well, what are the women's issues between the left and the right, that you find makes the woman a right winger or a left winger? What are these actual issues? Where's the divide here? I don't think they could give me an answer. I don't think they could actually give me an answer. I think that they would end up saying a bunch of social issues that were all left-wing based, all of them.
So what would be your next point with them? So the first part would be about college. And
the first point would be to ask what the distinctions, what they would consider the actual distinctions between the behaviors of conservative and liberal progressive women. What are they? I don't think they could give me many. The second would be to ask why they send them to these dens of inequity when they know that that's a terrible idea. And the third is why it is that they refuse to engage in any of the points of the red pill in order to either A, refute them, right? Or B, adopt them, but give a Christian prescription correct for what it is, or, C, just like blow them all out, right? You have to either offer the refutation at some point, or you're going to get dominated by the ideology. These are supposed to be Christian conservative commentators. The only one I've ever seen in the red pill doing battle with these guys is me. I've never seen anybody else doing it. And the thing that's so funny is even though I fight with red pill guys constantly, I'm constantly debating with them. I get associated with the red pill because I won't take any from these feminist women.
That was going to be my next question. If you consider yourself red pilled at all?
I think that descriptors from red pillars are often fine. Like descriptions of what's going on is fine. I think that most of the time they come out with prescriptors, they're terrible and stupid and kind of. So like when guys are saying, sleep with multitudes of women to like experience a level up, I think that that's dumb. I think if they're saying things like,
do you think it works though?
No, it doesn't work.
You don't think women treat men
Who
better?
has access to that? Like this teeny tiny percentage of men, how's that going to help men in general?
Well, I'm not talking about men in general. I'm talking about like individual men. Like if they're trying it and coming back and saying that this helped them in their life, like you can't really argue with that.
Yeah, but I mean, you could say the same thing with heroin. You could say the same thing with crack, whatever you wanted. I tried to help me in this portion of my life. It's like I still wouldn't give it as a prescription for people to do. Like,
yeah, but
when I was really down and out, here's an easy one. When I was really down and out after a breakup, I would drink way too much. That doesn't mean I would give that out as a prescription that men drink way too much after a breakup.
Yeah, but I don't really see it as like they're telling men what to do. I just think it's more like if you want to do this, this is how to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but that would again be a descriptor instead of a prescription. It's the guys who give it as a prescription, or the pickup dating artist community does this a lot.
Yeah, like live how I live.
Yeah, here's the various prescriptions or what society should be doing or things like this. That's where they run afoul, but a lot, and you got to take some of the descriptors with a grain of salt too. They're not always true. The pair bonding studies aren't always true. There's lots of stuff you got to be careful about.
I just think like anecdotally though, I think most men, like women just tend to abuse men when they know that they're their only source of sex. And that's where the problem comes in.
Well, what do you mean?
Like women just have a tendency to not, like, I don't know. I see so many men where they're married and the wife knows that he doesn't cheat.
Yeah.
And she just does not appreciate his loyalty. And I see women where they think that the husband either could cheat or would cheat. And they just tend to treat him better.
Yeah, tend to behave better.
Yeah. And I think that's what I was saying where as much as you don't like it,
but
I can see why.
Yeah, but can there be that luminous implicit threat without it ever even being stated? Like, I think there can be. And I think that those guys, a lot of those guys who can do that, they don't even bother saying, what do they need to say it for? It's well known that they can just do it.
You can't tell her.
Yeah, you don't need to tell her, right? It's not it's not important. So how's that? But how's that a prescription? There's such a small select few guys who can do that, who have.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I think it's more common than you'd think. I met this guy the other day. He was like 5'7", overweight. He was showing me his rotation. It was like 5, 22, 23-year-old women.
Was he rich?
No. He was just a good talker. He was just easy to talk to. So I don't know if it's like, from what I've seen, the PUAs, I don't think they're always the most attractive, like, or rich guys. Like, sometimes they're just charming.
But they're also con artists, a lot of them. They're conning, right? Like, they make that up. Like, that guy John Anthony Lifestyle, total con artist, just made it all up. And I've got an 8,000 body. It's like, shut up, dude. And then the guy tells me, he's like, I've never met a pickup artist in the world who hasn't done it one or two. And I'm like,
that is disgusting.
I'm like, what, dude? What? He's like, yeah, I've never met one who hasn't. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure most of them don't. So the thing is like, a lot of those guys are fully about their belt mark.
I've gone to events. Like, I've seen them take the women home, and a lot of times it's really not. It's not always the best looking guys. They're just charming. Like,
I remain skeptical in this regard.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, one of the PUAs I met in, like, Vegas, I mean, he was not attractive at all. I mean, some are, right? Like, a lot of, like, a good amount are, but there's enough that aren't good looking that, like, you would, I'm surprised you would be surprised just from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be men who are exceptions to these rules. You know what I mean? But I don't think for the most part, it's available to most men to just be able to go sleep with whatever type of woman they want.
I know. It's just the challenge is there's just no incentive for men to be loyal today. Like, what do they get out of it?
Well, family. The family.
We're having like one kid each.
That's
women
true.
aren't really having kids.
That's
so,
true. But again,
and like there's no incentive. Like, the wives cheat all the time.
Yeah, but there's also wives that don't cheat at all. So the key here is this: it's a matter of what people want.
But you can't verify that. You
don't think every single wife cheats, do you?
I don't think every single wife cheats, but like, my point is, if she does, there's a lot of avenues where he wouldn't even know.
There's a lot of avenues the other way too. I agree. Right. But I guess the point is like, I guess it is true if we average all of the children. Yes, it averages out to, less than 2 per woman. That's true. But that doesn't mean women are only having one kid. It just means that fewer women are having multiple kids and other women are having 0 kids. So it's like, yeah, there's still men who I want to see them have a family, have multiple children, and have a loyal wife. And yeah, I still think that's very possible.